There was 263 regarding what the kafara that a man should pay, the expiation of a person who has sexual intercourse with his wife during the menses. The expiation, according to Ahmed bin Hanbal, should be the paying of 1 dinar of gold or half dinar. This is the madhab of Ibn Abbas. However, there is no hadith sahih from the Prophet himself. So yesterday we said this, the madhahib, the other 3 madhahib, and Ibn Hazm say there is no expiation, and contrary to Ahmed bin Hanbal. And because there is no hadith sahih, of course, nobody should be obliged to pay anything without proof. And then we stopped at that yesterday. So 264, he said every blood that's pregnant woman or every blood that pregnant woman sees before she has delivered the last baby, I mean if she is pregnant with more than 1 baby. So he says every blood in between is not called hayd. That's what he says. He says not hayd, is not nifas. Hayd and nifas referred to by the Prophet the same thing. Hayd or nifas, the blood that woman sees after the birth or during their menses, is the same. Is hayd and nifas, the Prophet used to refer to them as one. He will tell Aisha, have you had nifas? You know the blood that woman has after the birth of the child. That is the same as menses in the Arabic language. In the Sharia is the same. So he says this blood, if a woman, for example, is pregnant and just before she has given birth, she knows she is in labor and there is blood. He says this blood is nothing. That blood should be the blood of nifas, of course. There is nothing to say that nifas has to be after the birth. But he says that blood is only blood is nothing. Yes. I mean, some women, they take a long time in labor. She might spend 1 day before she gave birth. During that day, is she in labor? Can she pray? The thing is, there is nothing to say that day, that blood is something else than nifas. It is the same blood that will continue after the birth. So it should be considered the blood of nifas. Is the birth that causing this blood. And therefore, she should stop praying and fasting and being forbidden for her husband in that time. 265, he says if an old woman sees blood which is black, we say that Ibn Hazm consider the blood of menses only the black based on hadith da'if. So he says the black blood is the blood of menses. Any blood else, even if it is continuous after the menses, he considered not to be the blood of menses. But I said that is weak understanding. However, what he's talking here, he says if the old woman sees sees something which looks like menses, then she should stop prayer and fasting and doing tawaf, and her husband can't approach her. He said the proof for that is that this is a woman, even if she is old. Like when we say old, 60, 70, he said even if she is old, but the blood is blood of menses, so she should stop from praying, because the Prophet said that this is something that Allah has written on the daughters of Adam. This is how the hadith say. Aisha, when she complained to the Prophet, she was crying in Hajj. He said this is something that is destined to the daughters of Adam. So every woman will get it. He says it's not fit for someone to say, oh, because she is old woman, this is not menses. You see, if someone mentions the ayah that says وَاللَّائِي يَئِسْنَ مِنَ الْمَحِيطِ, there is an ayah in Surah Talaq that say those who amongst your women have given hope of having menstrual.
Given up hope or given hope?
Huh?
Do you think given up hope?
Given up hope.
Okay.
That means they don't hope to have menses anymore. I mean, a woman, once she reaches a certain age, she can't have children anymore, she can't have menses anymore. You understand? So generally it's like mid-50s or something. But we heard about cases where women in their 70s given birth.
Yes.
What he's saying here, if a woman, no matter how old she is, if she gives, a woman can't, if she is not in menses, she can't give birth unless with this new technology where they do stuff like. But there were cases where women were like 60 something, 70 and given birth with no any medical no any treatment or anything. Yeah, no intervention. So he says if someone says that Allah has called this woman يَئِسْنَ مِنَ الْمَحِيطِ, have given up hope of having menses. So he said this is not proof, because also Allah says in the Quran وَالْقَوَاعِدُ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ اللَّاتِي لَا يَرْجُنَ نِكَاحًا, the qawa'id of women, the old women that don't hope to get married. Alhamdulillah. He says this woman, even Allah said قَوَاعِدُ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ, those don't hope to get married. He said that doesn't stop women from getting married.
So what surah is it?
Which one?
This one.
The second one. That woman who don't, the first one is talaq. Qawa'id min al-nisa, this Surah An-Nur. He said, so the fact that they are given up hope to get married doesn't stop them from getting married, and also women have given up hope from getting menses doesn't stop them from getting menses later, even though getting married is their choice and getting menses is something that they have no choice. If a woman sees something blood, definitely, if she knows it's menses, it is menses. The woman should know that. That is what Anas bin Sirin, Muhammad bin Sirin, when they used to ask him about stuff like menses, he would say, ask the woman herself, she knows. And 266, he says the least menses is like one go, blood coming out one time. It doesn't like has limit. So if he says if the woman sees the blood, she should stop praying and fasting, and she is forbidden for her husband or master. He says she has to wait up to 17 days. The minimum, he said there is no minimum. So blood comes, that is menses. But for him, he says if the blood is black, of course always he insists on this black because based on hadith da'if. But there is no mark, except that the woman will know that this is blood of menses.
But the hadith from the weak one, the black blood?
The hadith of Muhammad ibn Amr ibn Alqama ibn Waqqas. Muhammad ibn Amr is weak, generally. People have different opinion on him. Many consider him to be weak. And he narrated this hadith from Zuhri, from Urwa, from Aisha. And the majority who narrated this hadith from Urwa or from Zuhri, from Urwa,
Didn't say this.
didn't say this except him.
Which book you find it in?
Which hadith?
This hadith about the black black.
Muhammad bin Amr. It's in Sunan. Find it in Abu Dawud and Tirmidhi and Sunan. So,
Sorry, is it known to be Dave, or is it this Hassan?
Muhammad bin Amr,
No, the hadith regard
the black.
yeah.
Muhammad bin Amr, his hadith is Hassan. But when someone is Hassan hadith, generally, when you have a hadith narrated by Urwa ibn Zubayr from Aisha, from Urwa is narrated by many people, that include Zuhri and Hisham ibn Urwa. This is the two most trustworthy people from Urwa. Everybody who narrated it from Hisham, such as Malik, Sufyan al-Thawri, Sufyan bin Uyayna, Yahya ibn Sa'id al-Ansari, said something. And those who narrated it from Zuhri said something that doesn't really contradict much what the people who narrated from Hisham have said. Everybody who narrated from Zuhri said the same thing as the people who narrated from Hisham. That include Layth ibn Sa'ad, Amr ibn Khalid, and all of these people are trustworthy. And Muhammad ibn Amr says something different. And with all the talk that people say, he makes hadith marfu', not marfu', add words to the hadith. It's an experience, people have seen this not one time. And now he is adding something from Zuhri, from Urwa, when Layth ibn Sa'ad and Amr ibn Khalid and the trustworthy people of Sham and Egypt, such Awza'i and others, didn't say it. What does it, what is someone like him, what is a person who is Hasan al-Hadith? They say he's Hasan as long as he doesn't contradict. This by itself, it makes the person weak, because they say we take his hadith as long as he doesn't contradict people more trustworthy than him. He contradicted every trustworthy person that exists in this hadith. It's just question of, if we don't take his saying, it helps us like to describe what is the blood, because it's not anywhere else. Well, you just refer to the what women know, that's all. So Muhammad ibn Amr ibn Alqama and people like him, Hasan al-Hadith, they say we take them as long as they don't contradict. That is one thing that shows that these people can't be trusted. The other thing, we take them not in the major things, not like if it comes to Allah description, attributes. So what is the difference here? Allah attributes and Allah hukm, making things haram and something not haram. He says, so but he says here, he says the blood, there is no minimum for the days of the blood. He said the maximum is 17 days. Yeah, he said the proof for that is that the statement of the Prophet came that the blood is black, known. So anything else is not blood, and it's not menses, which I'm just trying to repeat it because he wrote it down. So he says we can't say that there is a minimum days or maximum days for it except with proof. He said minimum, the minimum that has been said is that one time, like blood coming one go. So that can be like in a second, in a minute or something, 1 minute. And then it's finished. The woman will have to wash and pray. He said the maximum that has been said is 17. So that is ijma'. You know how they take it. They say, some people say it one go. Sometimes people say 1 day. Some people say 3 days. Some people say 7 days. Some people say 5, 6, 10, 15, up to 17. So because it's the maximum that has been said, 17, he say we take it as 17. And this is, you can see the argument here. I mean,
Ijma, then you should take that.
you say you take ijma'. So the maximum that has been said is 17.
So we all agree on 17.
They don't all agree on 17.
No, I mean at the 17, none of them would disagree.
Who said that nobody would
So if you're
disagree?
saying 1 day,
Yeah.
someone said 1 day.
What about the people who said maximum is 15 days?
I understand, but I said they wouldn't. No one would say to him that if he's anyway. Yeah.
You can't say ijma' here at all. You can't use, because some people say there is minimum, some people say there is maximum. Those who say like minimum 3 days and
Okay, I
maximum
understand.
15 days,
Mistake.
they don't agree with 1 day and they don't agree with 17 days. So this is not ijma'.
So you can't get Ijma on this.
Yes.
The minimum makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, where there is something that has minimum only but no maximum, and something has maximum but no minimum, you can't say this is. But where in this case here, you can't say any ijma' anyway, because everybody will say something different.
Yeah,
Even in the
My
minimum.
mistake.
Huh?
Even in the minimum.
Even in the minimum, because the minimum don't agree. Some people say the minimum is 3 days.
But you can have one go, like you said.
Yeah, but they say we don't. They don't agree. They say if a woman sees blood only one time, and it stops, she should pray. She should stop praying 3 days, because for them they say 3 days minimum.
That is the lead.
No, he will mention what they are their dalil. Now, the fact that he says the maximum that has been said is 17, and this 17 has not been said by the Sahaba, neither by the Tabi'in, but he takes it. What is the difference if, for example, one of the 200 years after the Prophet say 17 days is the maximum, and Ibn Hazm takes it, and one person after 2,000 years after the Prophet say no, it's 19? Do we have to take it into consideration? I mean, why not? If after 200 years later someone said something and you took it into consideration, then you shouldn't put any limit, because 2,000 years later someone will come and say the maximum is 29 days.
They'll probably say the best generation.
So, well, he doesn't do that. He doesn't say that. So that is very weak understanding when it comes to ijma'. I mean, this is one thing that derived from ijma', that people, this is ijma'. You see, when they talk about ijma', Ibn al-Mundhir, for example, Ibn al-Mundhir and Ibn Hazm and Ibn Taymiyyah and Nawawi and Ibn al-Qayyim, these people who make claims about ijma' a lot, and how they will say it, they will mention something. Ibn al-Mundhir will say this is ijma'. Ibn Hazm says, oh no, this is not ijma', because, for example, Bukhari said something different. You understand? So the fact that Bukhari says something different 200 years after the Prophet will nullify the ijma'.
To the Sahaba, yeah.
But he doesn't think about, okay, he is making claim of ijma'. Someone after him will have different opinion, and then people will say, oh, this is not ijma'. Because so you can never make a claim of ijma'. You have to wait, because always, or probably, you have the right to have a different opinion. It's fine to have a different opinion that contradicts everybody else, until Ibn Hazm writes it in his book, and then it becomes haram to go against it. I mean, what is the limit to go against the ijma'? If you can say, okay, we don't know any Sahabi who has different opinion, except that, for example, Bukhari have said something, or Malik said something. You understand this part? If Bukhari can have a different opinion, Ibn Hazm can have a different opinion, Nawawi can have, so everybody can, to the day of judgment, can have a different opinion, even though he doesn't know that people have had different, said something before him, different opinion before him. You see this? Everybody who says ijma' doesn't say, oh, this is ijma', we don't care what Hassan Basri have said, because he is tabi'i, because the Sahaba before him have said so and so. Everybody who says ijma', take into consideration what the tabi'in have said, what the four madhahib have said, the four imams of the madhahib. So he said here, since there is no limit and the maximum is 17, so we say the 17. He says, and this place, there is, people have three different opinions. One, what is the minimum of the menses? The second, the maximum of the menses. The third is the difference between the woman after the time limit that the woman have to wait after have her divorce, and prayer and fasting.
So can you repeat number 3?
Number 3 is, you see, when a woman has to, after her divorced, she has to wait what we call a period, and she has to count it with the blood, with the menses. So some people, such as Malik, say there is a difference. The blood, the menses, when he say the minimum of the menses, he says 3 days. Malik say the minimum is 3 days. He say 3 days regarding the salah and fasting.
Okay, no evidence.
Yeah, he say for fasting and salah, it should be minimum 3 days. For marriage and for divorce, it should be 5 days.
All from his head.
Well, I mean, a woman has menses. Either is it 3 days or 5 days? He say when we talk about prayer, we should count it at 3 days. So she shouldn't stop prayer more than 3 days. I mean, if she doesn't know her timing, that is always for a woman who doesn't know her timing. Or for example, she see the blood one time, one go, and it stops. He say it has to be minimum 3 days. But when it comes to divorce, he say we have to increase it to 4-5 days. I just explained it, but he has to come to it anyway. He says, as for the minimum of the period, a group of people said that the menses is one go. You understand? He says the minimum of menses is just one go of blood. He says this is, as for the iddah, we have to count it as 3 days. He says this is what Malik have said, but this is not what I know from Malik. I said Malik says 3 days or 5. He says, but he says here, and it has been narrated from Malik that the minimum in the iddah is 5 days. Another group of people says the minimum is one go, just one time, and that is for the salah, for the fasting, for the for the man having a relation with his wife, and for iddah as well. And this is what Shafi'i said, and Awza'i said, and Dawood bin Ali and his companions, the Zahiris.
If you won't go, then you can do it straight.
Yes, they say it's one go. Another group said the least you can have for menses is 1 day and 1 night. And this is another say from Shafi'i and Ahmed ibn Hanbal. And this is the saying of Ata. And other group, they said 3 days. They said if it stops before 3 days, it should be considered to be istihaba, like just blood. It's a vein or something. It's not. It has nothing to do with menses. That is, of course, if the woman had, if the woman still have cycles, and then it's less than 3 days, they will consider to be istihada. But then, if the blood doesn't come at all later, then they will say that was her blood, and continues, but she didn't see it. Istihada is the vein.
The blood that is related to the period.
So it's not related to the menses. It's like a woman has injury in her body and the blood comes out of it. And that is what Abu Hanifa and Sufyan al-Thawri says. Another group said the hayd, the menses, is 6 or 7 days. This is what Ahmed bin Hanbal says.
Minimum.
Yes. He says, for those who say for fasting and for salah, it should be one time, and for iddah it should be another time. He said they have no proof. Because someone says that if a woman must have the minimum period, and that minimum should be counted as 3 or 5 or 7, whatever. But when someone says, when it comes to prayer, it has to be counted as 3. When it comes to divorce, it has to be counted as 5. That doesn't make sense. Except that, okay, what he will say that marriage is a big issue, so we have to be more careful. So if a woman says that I have had menses, like she got divorced, and she say I had menses for one go and it stopped, and then another day within the month she had another menses, it looks like we have to be careful with this woman. Maybe she is just trying to play around, she is in a hurry, she wants to get married again. You understand? This is how they deal with it. And Shuraih al-Qadi, actually, he said if a woman can prove, can say that, have people to testify for her that she had 3 menses in 1 month, then it should be accepted.
Witness.
Yeah, they require sometimes the witnesses.
Yes, do you have example from the time of the Prophet?
About what?
This kind of situation?
No, you don't have anything from the time of the Prophet. People, the Quran says that Quran advised women not to lie about this, that they have to say what they have.
Okay.
Quran, when it speaks about والمطلقات, the مطلقات يتربصن, the divorcee woman should wait. بأنفسهن 3 قرء. Qur'ah here, some people say menses, some people say not menses is the Qur'ah, and some people might say both of them. You say والمطلقات يتربصن بأنفسهن, the divorcee woman should wait 3 قروء. ولا يحل لهن, and it's not halal for them أن يكتم ولا يحل لهن أن يكتمن ما خلق الله في أرحامهن. It's not halal for them to hide what Allah has created in their wombs. Now, creating in their wombs here, some people say is child, but some people say also is the menses. That is because it comes from the wombs. So anything that comes from the wombs, they have to mention it.
You know the word quru you said?
Yeah.
You said they have 2 meanings.
The
word quru, do they have 2
Yeah,
meanings?
quru can be menses and can be the stopping of menses. So here, the woman should not lie to say, okay, if she is pregnant, she should say it. Because a woman might be pregnant and hide it for a reason, yeah.
Okay, the quru is free, is either the menses or the non-menses.
Yes, both of them can be called quru in Arabic.
No. So, in regards to the waiting 3 periods, would you start from the time she had her menses, or would you start from the time she didn't have her menses?
Of course, she has to start from the divorce time, when she is divorced.
So,
And she can't be divorced when she has menses. A woman can't not be divorced in menses time. According to the majority, if she is divorced in menses time, the divorce has happened.
okay, so that means that the period where she doesn't have her period, and then let's say she divorces,
Yeah.
and then for 10 days she's okay, and then she has a period.
Yeah.
So the 10 days is a period. The period is a period,
Yes.
and then the period after that is a period.
Yes.
So that means that when she has a period, that's when she's.
This is not the saying of anybody, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, no. It's what you said, yeah.
I said some people might say that.
Okay, but this is what you say as well, yeah.
Well, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying.
You did say it before.
No, I said some people might say this way.
You said you're the only person that said it.
No, I didn't say that way. I said this is. I'm not talking about divorce, and therefore, because when you discuss something, you have to go generally regarding all the. I have my opinion, but because I'm not talking about divorce, I'm not. I said some people say is menses. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is what the Prophet told Ibn Umar. He told him, Ibn Umar divorced a woman in her menses. He ordered him to take her back and said, wait until she is clean, then divorce when she is clean, and then she has a period, and then she is clean, and then divorce her. I mean, that is the divorce, that's finished. So he said, clean, then she is in menses, then clean. Now, the majority, this hadith, did they understand it in a different way. They say this has nothing to do with like this is the time before he can divorce again. Some people say this. Some people have different explanation for this hadith.
Do you know what the hadith explains anyway?
That is sahih.
What?
The hadith.
The hadith, yeah, it's the Bukhari and Muslim, the hadith of divorce of Ibn Umar, of course. Now, some people what they say now the qur' is either menses or the stopping of menses. Those who say it's menses, they say she is divorced. She must be divorced when she is clean, and then wait 1 menses, then clean, then 1 menses, then clean, then 1 menses, and then she is clean. She can get married. Those others say she is divorced when she is clean, and then 1 menses, clean, 1 menses, clean, 1 menses, and then clean. You understand? When she finish, that is, she can get married. And then the others will say, okay, but you have made it now 4 times clean, because she was divorced when she was clean. They're trying to avoid that, the fact that when she was divorced at the beginning, it's not fully clean. Like she was clean in the middle, he divorced her. So this is not full period. So this is how. It's not a complicated issue. So the group, he answers for those who make the difference between divorce and. You see, Malik, he's trying to do ihtiyat, and he does this a lot. Like a woman is divorced, we have to count it as 5 days minimum because of the iddah. This we call it ihtiyat. Ihtiyat is to take the safe course, safe way, because we have to count it as 5. Now, if this divorce, and people say we have to take this, always the highest, make the iddah long, just in case. You understand? Just in case. What if this woman, if we count the iddah 3 period, or 1.5 period, or 3 days, what if she is not, what if this, to be sure, let's make it like harder, more days, just to be in the safe side. Because if you say 3 days, even though he believes that it's 3 days minimum, then the problem is here, what if she goes and get married? What if we say 3 days and okay, your marriage is annulled, she goes get married, what if she is not, if her period is not finished? She will be marrying someone else, and she is still married to the same person, to the first person. You understand how to be in the safe side? But also here, you can never use safe, taking the safe way. Always you have to be careful and see how it is. Because what if the period actually has finished now, and you are telling her to wait 5 days, and then since her husband think that the period is not finished, he come and take her back without marriage, the first husband is not any longer her husband. You understand? So there is no safe way here. Safe way here is to look at the matter carefully and find out what is right, what is wrong, and make fatwa based on that. He said those who said that the woman menses are 6 or 7 days, he said they use this hadith from Ibn Jurayj, from Abdullah bin Muhammad, from Habiba, that she was in istihada, that she had blood and continuous blood. So the Prophet made it 6 days or 7. And another hadith from Abdullah bin Muhammad bin Uqayl, from Ibrahim bin Muhammad bin Talha, from his uncle Imran bin Talha, from his mother Hamna bint Jahsh, that the Prophet told her, use the hayd 6 or 7 days. You understand? 6 or 7 days, and then pray for 24 or 23 days. She was in continuous blood, so the Prophet told her to count her menses 6 or 7 days from every month and pray 23 or 24 days. Like every month she can just take 27 days or 6.
In the beginning, the end.
It doesn't say. So the people took this hadith. And these two hadith, he will say about the first hadith to be mistake, because Ibn Jurayj never heard it from Abdullah bin Muhammad bin Aqil. And the second hadith, he will say Amran bin Talha and Al-Harith bin Abi Usama, who narrated this hadith, both of them are weak. But the problem here, both of these hadith are from Abdullah bin Muhammad bin Uqayl, and Abdullah bin Muhammad is weak, despite Ahmad bin Hanbal and Ibn Hazm taking his hadith. This person all his hadith are like this, and you can see that both of these hadith are from him. In one of them he says from Habiba, in the second one he says from Hamna bint Jahsh. This clearly shows that what kind of person he was. Like sometimes he narrated hadith in a way, in another time he narrated it in another way, and people consider him to be weak anyway. He says, as for those who say this is what normally happened to women, because normally women stays in there, the majority probably of women stays like 6 days, 7 days. This is what normally women are, the way women are. He said, for those who say this, they have no proof, because not every woman is like that. As for those who said 3 days, this is what the hadith they use. This says that the Prophet said to the woman, wait the number of days that you normally have menses in, and then start praying. So he said, the Prophet said, wait the number of days. And Arabic, when you say ayyam, minimum 3. The Arabic, what we call the less of the plural, is 3. You know this. I mean, you say to rajulun, 1 man, rajulani, 2 men, thalathatu rijal, 3 men. So rijal, you can use from 3 above, you can say the word rijal. Less than 3, 2, you say rajulain. Walaikum assalam wa barakatuh. Less than 3, you say rajulain. And 1, you say rajul. So the Prophet said here, ayyam, wait, according to this hadith, that wait the number of days. So he said days. So if he says days, minimum is 3 days, because that is the minimum. 2, you don't say ayyam for 2, you don't say ayyam for 1. So you say we take the minimum here, that is 3. Like when there is some ayah in Quran that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, it'amu masakin, feed poor people. Masakin here, it's not 1 miskin, it's not 2, so we say the minimum that you have to feed is 3, and that is right in this case. But here, this hadith first, it doesn't say that. This hadith here, the narrations, the Prophet said, just the hadith that we have been speaking about, all the hadith, the Prophet says that when the period starts, leave the prayer. When the period stops, start praying. So it doesn't say, mentioned any word like ayyam. But these weak narrations that says ayyam and they refer to, still doesn't mean that. Especially that if you go to the Quran, there is an ayah in Quran that says, those amongst you who die and leave children behind, for the male, the double of the equal to two girls, 2 female. And then the ayah goes all the way to say that the father and mother will get the 6th if the man has children. If he has no children and his parents will take his inheritance, the mother will take the 3rd and the father the 6th. So someone who has no children, his mother will take the 3rd. The father don't take the 6th, the father will take the rest after the wife or the husband. So the mother will take the 3rd from the inheritance. So if the person who died has no children, let's say he has only a mother and father, the mother will take the 3rd. The father will take whatever is left, 2/3. But then the ayah say, if he has brothers, then the mother will take the 6th. Here they say, if he has 1 brother, the mother will take the 6th.
What's the word in Arabic?
إخوة. إن كان له إخوة. And إخوة, the minimum is 3. But they didn't use it here. Ibn Abbas used it here. He said, if a person has 2 brothers, his mother will still take the 3rd.
The 6th.
The 3rd.
His mother.
Yes. He says the mother will not take 6th until he has 3 brothers or more. Because the mother will take 3rd if there is no children and there is no brothers. But the ayah says only if he has brothers. You understand? Now here when you speak in Arabic, when you say if he has brothers, doesn't mean 3 or more. You understand? It can be even if he has a brother. This is how in Arabic you can, the only way to put it. Anyway, there is different opinion about regarding this matter in inheritance, except that Ibn Hazm here uses this ayah. He say, why don't they say this here? Why do they say, because the Prophet said to the woman, they wait for your days. Like you have to consider your days. You say, why do you say you have to consider? From this they have derived that it has to be minimum 3 days. They should have taken from this that, yes, that to be 3 days. The other thing about the inheritance thing, the people here didn't use their mind at all. They were all dahiris. They say, if Allah says, if the man has brothers, if someone dies and has brothers, and he leave behind the mother and the father, the mother will take the 3rd. The rest will be to go to the father. If he has brothers, his mother will take only the 6th. But they say Now, normally, what you will understand, let's say, forget being someone who uses his intellect. What you uses your intellect. If he has brothers, his mother will take only the sixth.
They must take the
So the rest of the third,
to the brothers.
it has to go to the brothers.
Yeah.
But the ayah didn't say that. It says only that the money will be taken. And the majority say the money will not go to the brothers. It will go to the father.
And what goes to the brothers then?
Nothing. Brothers are not mentioned in this ayah. They are just mentioned like if they exist, the money will be taken from the mother. Yeah, and this is right. The money should be taken from the mother and go to whoever Allah have said that he should take in to be given.
It doesn't say nothing.
It doesn't say they have to be given. If the brothers are there, the money will go from the mother, and it goes to the father.
Just by them being present.
They just.
3 or more, yeah.
Yeah, not a question of 3 more. That's a different
It's
question.
Arabic.
It's question of here. Everybody was Dahiri clearly, except for like Ibn Abbas and some others. But here,
Okay.
yeah, because the ayah doesn't say take it from the mother and give it to the brothers.
Yeah. Can't argue that.
Okay. Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. He says so. For the conclusion from here is that the haid, there is no time limit about the maximum, and therefore that's what he says. He says the maximum is 17 days, but the truth is that it should be referred to the woman. That's all. He says, and there is no minimum for the time of menses. There is no minimum for a woman the no menses period. Like a woman had a period, and then she was clean, and then she has a period. He says there is no minimum here, and there is no maximum. So the woman, as long as she is clean, if the woman like she stays 1 year without menses, it should be counted as 1 year. He says, and she can be clean for 1 hour, and then she gets menses again.
She can be clean for 1 hour.
And she gets menses again.
He said she has 2 menses, like one menses an hour clean, then another menses.
Yeah.
How does that work out?
He says the blood stopped.
Or stopping and starting blood he's talking about, or he's talking about 2 separate periods.
Yeah, 2 separate periods. They say he considered it to be 2 separate periods. Like a woman had menses, it stopped. She has seen that the blood have stopped totally,
Yeah.
and then when the blood stops, how long before the woman can go and pray and do ghusl? Straight away, she knows that the blood have stopped.
So if a man divorced his wife,
Yeah,
then she has a period.
yeah,
1 hour later she stops.
Yeah.
1 hour, then she has another period.
yes,
Then she's clean again.
yes,
Then she has another period.
yes,
So then basically in the next 6 hours she could be married again.
yes. If it happens, that's what Ibn Hazm says.
Okay.
I mean, if the blood starts and stops, that her menses is stopped. That's what Ibn Hazm says here.
That's his understanding.
Yes.
So if she doesn't get a period, she has to wait.
Huh?
If she doesn't have periods, she has to wait.
If she has no period,
And she wants to get married.
if she has no period for a year, for example,
Yeah.
for a year, that's definitely she has given up hope then.
3 months.
That is, when a woman has given hope, then her period is counted by months rather than by menses. I mean, okay, she is waiting a month, 2, 3 months. Now, if she can't think that, oh, I don't think that I'm going to get any periods anymore, that 3 months that have stopped, she has waited, that we considered her iddah. She doesn't have to have intention to do iddah. Some people say she has to do intention to have iddah. You understand? I mean, if a woman
trying to give up hope in the last minute. You can't give up hope from the beginning. You're waiting. So it's not that you've given up hope.
Yeah, it's not question when Allah says that the iddah is 3 months. It's not question like she has to the iddah. She has to start counting like a woman can't get married, and when her husband has died. Let's say a woman was waiting for her husband for 10 years. He's traveling. After 10 years, someone came and say, your husband died 10 years ago. Now, is she going to wait 4 months and 10 days? I mean,
that's when she does hope.
She wait 4 months and 10 days after the death, not after she heard about the death.
And you know when they say 3 months, does that mean from like day 1 to day 30 or 29, like that consistently throughout? When you say the period when it starts, is it like a whole period, or can we half a period? So if someone gives a talaq to his wife in the middle of the month, before she had the
that is when you start counting the month. A month, it doesn't have to. A husband doesn't have to divorce his wife on the first day of the month. When we say month, from the day she have divorced, she count 29 days. If there is no period, so that 29 days, and another 29 days, and another 29 days.
So that's the minimum.
Yeah, the month is 29 days or 30, and she doesn't have to combine like 29, 20, 30, and 20.
And in the case if she has a period, and her husband divorced her on the 12th of the month.
If you count with the period, then there is no anything to do with the months.
It doesn't matter about the time.
When do you use the month? When do you use the period? I don't understand.
No, there is different category of women. Women who have menses, women who still have menses, they count the time limit of the divorce with menses. The women who don't have menses, for whatever reason, one of the reasons is she is young. She has not reached the age of having menses. You understand? Or she is old, 70. She doesn't have menses anymore.
There's girls that don't have periods at all.
You understand?
When you get free,
So these women, they don't. If you tell them wait for their menses, they have no menses. So what they wait, they count it with months. Their period will be 3 months.
And the 3 months, is that in the Quran or is that Hadith?
In the Quran. So those that have no menses, they have to wait 3 months. That's what the Quran says. Now, if the divorce happened in the first day of the month, then what you have to look at, you have to continue that month, whether it is 30 days or 29. But if it happened in the middle of the month, then which month you are going to, the month that you are divorced in, or the month that you are going to continue in? Because there is another month will come, you will have to half of the first month and half in the second month, because she is divorced. So which one? There is nothing to say which one. And the Prophet done something like this. He swore that he will not approach his wives for a month. So he didn't consider the beginning, the first month or the second month. He just counted from the day, 29 days, and he came back to his wife. So when they told him, oh, you have sworn that to stay away for a month.
Isn't that 28 days?
29.
Arabic,
The lunar calendar is either 29 or 30. So they don't count in Islam with February and January.
Okay, but I'll go in English. I can bring it for you. It's 28.
What's 28?
Lunar days are sometimes 28, aren't they?
Lunar months?
Lunar.
Never.
You know the one when he prayed sitting for 10 days?
Yeah.
And then he was going to go, and then he said that before the month is 30 days, he said the month can be 28 days.
He said 29 days. That is either the mistake of the translation, or you read it wrong.
Right, yeah. But you know the hadith.
Yes. Aisha said, you swore that not to come for 30 days, for a month. He said the month can be 29 days. No,
So
that is.
You take the minimum because you take it instead of 20, instead of
Yeah,
that, you can take
someone swore to do something.
for a month.
If Allah asks you on Yom Qiyamah, you can say,
If when you swear to do something, you understand? It's always do the minimum of what you, like someone says, I am going to feed poor people. He didn't mention how many. No, how many?
In English too.
In English too, if you say it in English. Huh?
So don't put it in.
MashaAllah, you had English.
If you say it in Arabic,
Did you finish?
that's,
Another person.
you understand, 3. So it's, but you can't put, nobody can say, oh, you have to feed 10. If someone says 10, the other will say, no, 20. Another says, no, 50.
Then it would depend on what language you said it in.
No, so if, and the Arabic language is 3.
I was going to ask, what about if a woman has a period once every 4 months? Some women have a period like 3 periods a year.
Yeah.
So she has to wait the whole year.
Well, it depends on how.
Which one's quicker?
No, even the period. The period, there is 2 known madhab. Some people say 3 periods means 3 menses. Some people say 3 periods means 3 no menses. Like menses, no menses, then
Okay.
menses, no menses. You understand? So they say 3 where she is clean. Not 3 times when she is like, they count what is after the period, not in the period. But I say, what if someone says, since the period can be menses and no menses as well, what if someone says, period is not the menses only, it's no menses as well.
She was
So-
saying no
So
period and
no,
period.
yeah, the
No
time
period, that's it.
she is clean, and the period, and she is clean.
Finish.
So you count them as 3,
Because of the meaning of the word.
because the word covers this and this and this.
Plus the
Period.
Prophet.
Huh?
Plus the
Plus the Prophet, when he told Ibn Umar in the hadith, he said, wait until she is clean, and then menses, and then clean, and then divorce her. That is the iddah that Allah has ordered.
Was that hadith in Bukhari?
Bukhari and Muslim.
Menses.
Tell me, think, which chapter? Divorce.
Afu, menses.
Why in menses? It's in divorce. It talks clearly about divorce.
It could be menses.
If he says it's menses,
Yeah.
that means he has made up his mind that it is menses.
Not necessarily.
So
did he say first, sorry? Did
he
say
said-
first clean, or did he say first?
No, he said, take her back. The man divorced, Ibn Umar divorced when she was in menses. He said, take her back, and then wait until she is clean, and then her menses, and then clean.
Two six seven.
No?
267.
2-6. No, we are still in there. With the minimum of what we can give this name, tahara, and menses. There is hayd and there is tahar. So a woman life is between tahar and menses. When she has menses, that we call it hayd, and when she has no menses, we call it tahar.
Cleansed.
So when she is in tahara, Abu Hanifa says the minimum of tahara is 15 days. Like if a woman have menses, and then she is clean, and she has menses again, he says like if it difference is 1 day clean, and then she has menses again, that means she has never stopped being in menses. So that we consider that to be 1. But you understand? That's Abu Hanifa saying. Abu Hanifa is saying that it has to be minimum between them 15 days.
What Ibn Hazm says 1 hour.
Ibn Hazm says it's 1 hour will be like 1 hour is not like 1 hour 60 minutes. It's like a second. It's like a time just period. And some people say 19 days. Malik said 3 days, 4 days, 5 days between menses is not going to be considered. Abu Shafi'i said exactly like Abu Hanifa. And another say there is no minimum, there is no maximum.
That makes sense.
He says this is what the Zahiris say. Say a woman had blood, totally stopped, and then she had blood, that is one menses, and she is clean and she is one menses. Doesn't matter. If like it happens in the same day, I mean when they say this, that's mean they will say there is no limit. So if a woman had menses for 5 minutes, or let's say 15 minutes, she should go, take a bath, pray, and everything is halal for her. Like, because the people who say the minimum is 15 days, this is what they should say as well, that she has to wait 15 days after she had the blood have stopped, because you understand.
You can't pick and choose, yeah. Makes sense.
So he said those who said the tohar can't be less than 15 days, they have no proof. Also, those who said the minimum is 19 days, those who said 19 days, they said like this, that Allah has, for a woman who doesn't have menses, she should wait 3 months. They say that mean these 3 months are in a state of a period. This is how. So they said every period, a man or woman have one period every month. So for every period is 1 month.
Why 19 days?
Huh?
So why 19 days?
19 days, because they will say, now they will have to say that the maximum of the haid
It's 11 days.
is 11 days, the maximum. So, and the minimum, so to combine them together. So 19 plus 11, that is makes 1 month, and then 1 month, and then 1 month. He said because these people who said 1 month for every period, he said they still say if a woman had 1 menses in 3 months, that should be considered to be 1. And therefore it will be 9 months if a woman had no period except for 3 months. Every 3 months she has 1. They will say she has to wait 9 months. He says so they are lying. So their claim is baseless.
In that scenario, yeah.
He said also a woman can have her period 1 hour. Like a woman divorced, her husband say you are divorced, she gave birth, or miscarriage. If a woman has a child, is pregnant, and her husband say you are divorced, out of the shock she got miscarried, she is forbidden for him now, she is not his wife.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Okay.
She gave miscarriage, that is, she has delivered the baby.
Okay.
Now she is not his wife anymore, he can't take her back because her period is finished. They have the woman, when they are divorced, they have to wait for the delivery of baby.
Not for also another period after the.
No, there is nothing. A woman, if a woman is divorced and she gave birth, if a woman is divorced and while pregnant and she gave birth 1 second after the husband said you are divorced, finish, she can go straight away get married. She can go from that place to the registry office and get married.
But also she was clean and dirty and clean.
The man has to be Muslim.
Huh?
She was clean when he said to her,
Yeah.
and she had the menses, and then
Definitely she will be clean. If she is pregnant, she is.
and then she's clean straight after it.
Yeah. And there was no, so afterwards there will be the bleeding of the delivery, but still that is not will not stop her from getting married anyway.
Don't stop her husband from approaching her.
The new husband, yeah. But she will be, but he can marry her anyway. Sometimes the period is no time. And this is agreed by everybody that if a woman is divorced, well, it's not everybody, but that is what we know. Yeah, no, it is from the hadith, from the ayah, but we know that today, the four madhahib, for example, all have this opinion. If a woman is divorced, the ayah is, the hadith of this is clear, is in Bukhari and Muslim, that the Prophet, we are saying, those people who say that it has to be 3 months or 3 periods, and they try to think, oh, how can it be just 1 minute? Well, this is 1 minute, and they agree about it.
So if he done it while she's pregnant, and then he can still take her back before the birth?
Yes. If a person divorces his wife at the early stage of pregnancy, in her first days, and she doesn't give birth to the child for another 9 months, all these 9 months, he has the choice to take her back. She is still his wife for these 9 months. She has to wait, but she gives delivery, finish. There was the wife of Zubair ibn al-Awwam. He had one of his wives. He's the husband of Asma, of course, but he had wives later, many, not one. So one of his wives wanted him to divorce her, and she was pregnant. She knew she is going to give birth. He said, why don't you do me a favor, divorce me? Why would he asked, why do you want me to divorce you? He said, I just feel like this, like I want to be, divorce me and take me back. I just want to.
She wants to feel good about it.
Yeah. I said, okay, you are divorced. And he went out, he came back, he found her, she gave birth. Like she wanted to get rid of him.
Oh.
When he came back, she has given birth.
So she didn't want to do it, she tricked him basically.
Yeah, he didn't want to divorce her, but she played this.
Clever woman.
But then
She's a Dahiri.
No, it's not
for him
Bahiri.
to ever marry her again, she'd have to marry another man first.
No.
No, he can marry her again.
He can marry again if she want to, but she doesn't want to.
This time round, if you divorce a woman and that period's done, then she has to decide whether she wants you.
Yeah, finished. The period is finished. He can't take her back.
So, can I just say something? What would have been the difference? Say she wasn't pregnant.
Huh?
What would have been the difference?
What?
What would have been the say she wasn't pregnant?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she says divorce me.
Yeah.
And
Then he will have to wait. She will have the whole period. Within the period, he can take her whether she like or not.
Whether she likes or not.
Yes.
Take her back.
Yeah.
What's the point of divorcing him?
He divorced her.
He didn't know.
She's letting her know.
He divorced her,
He was tricked.
To
and
marry her again.
no, he can take her back.
He thought she wanted to feel good about
Yeah, I know, but
herself.
I know that the pregnancy thing. But let's just say I'm married
Yeah.
and I just divorced my wife.
Yes.
Next day I just said, "Khalas, you're back." Just
Yes.
like that.
Yes. Something like that.
Yeah, just
But
like
I divorced her. What about her? Doesn't she say, "Actually, you divorced me"? That's it.
No. She can't.
That's not divorce, is it?
it's a
It
waiting
is divorce.
period,
There is. You can divorce. You have a right 3 times. You have the right to do it 3 times.
What if she divorces me then? Could she bring me back? Take me
She
back?
can't.
She can never divorce
She
you.
can never
Is
divorce
it
you.
2 times? Because on the
So
third
a
time.
man has to divorce.
Yes.
Yes.
She can ask you to divorce her.
Yes.
She can force you to divorce her by taking you to court, and the court will order you to divorce her.
Is it 2 or 3? Because on the third time it's finished, isn't it? Or
Yeah, the 3rd time finish.
Third time.
So they have the choice 2 times.
3 times.
The 2 times. The 3rd time is no choice.
And then she has to marry another man before she can marry.
Yeah.
Has
Yes.
relations with him.
Then she has to get married.
Okay. Okay, I'll ask more later.
Yeah. No. When someone divorces a woman,
A man how can divorce a woman?
a woman can never divorce. According to the majority, the judge can divorce. Not the woman. The woman can't divorce at all. You understand?
Yeah.
But the four madhahib, for example, they say a man, a judge can divorce, the wife can request the judge to divorce her, and then he can divorce her. But that is not true. The judge can force the husband to divorce.
Okay, but then I'm saying that I know this is right, yeah, but say now I do divorce.
Yeah.
Yeah. What now then? Can she marry someone?
No. If you are, like, let's say you married two women, and then because you are angry, because you don't like her, or you say you are divorced, there is a time limit she has to wait. Depends on her status. Depends if she has like no menses, she has to wait 3 months before the marriage will become binding. You understand? You see, in the English court, if two people are divorced, they give them
Waiting period.
they divorce them, and then there is 6 weeks or something. In that 6 months, they can go back and say, no, we are not good, divorced. After 6 months, it's like the divorce will be final. This is, we don't know, maybe they took it from Muslims. You understand? In Islam, when a man says you are divorced, she is not really divorced. He can stay, she is his wife. She lives with him in the house until the period is finished.
Yes.
Within this period, he can take her back.
You can take her outside.
Yeah, he doesn't have to ask her permission or anything. Just, I am taking you back. That's all. Then another.
What if he doesn't want to take her back?
If she doesn't, she has no choice.
No, if he doesn't want to.
If he doesn't, he just wait until the end of the period, and she is no wife anymore.
Alright.
She is not his wife anymore. She now, if he want to take her back now after the period, he have to go and ask her if she likes. If she doesn't like, it's like.
So before the period, I can just divorce her. Wait 1 week.
And you can do that twice.
Yeah.
The third time is finished.
Nah.
But you can't administer talaq 3 times while she's in a waiting period. Like,
Well, that is the difference. There is difference opinion about that.
Like sometimes we say talaq, but
Yeah.
we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yes, long time. Okay. He says, so those people who says the minimum is 15 days, or just because they have no proof. He said, if they say, with your saying, that's mean. He said, they say, the people who do this, they say, if you say that there is no minimum for menses, there is no minimum for a woman being clean, that's finished. Like a husband that will divorce his wife, and then she will say, I have menses. Menses has stopped. I have menses. Menses stopped. I have menses. And then after 1 hour, like she can go home and say, I have menses. Come out, the menses have stopped. Go again, I have menses. Come out. You understand? These people say, okay, if you say there is no minimum, women period can finish in 1 day. You understand? So this is how they take it. If you say this, then every woman will divorce today and get married tomorrow.
But the thing is that she's sitting in it.
No?
Well, her second marriage won't count. Well, it's not an
Well, she question of when someone makes a claim, sometime you have to, like a woman who has a period 7 days every month. Someone married, when the day she is divorced, she says, I have 3 periods in 7 hours. A person might ask here, okay, like someone can check. I mean, there is doctors, there is nurses, there is.
Yeah, but she ain't forced. They ain't forced. She doesn't have to let them check. She doesn't have to say, look. I mean, they don't have no right to force her
To check.
To check. Yeah.
Really?
Isn't the deal for this?
How?
They say that someone can check her?
Someone can check if
She is making a claim.
Yeah, but you said earlier the Quran, Allah said you have to be honest with these things.
Yes, a woman has to be.
Have to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, where there is no proof to suspect the woman,
Yeah.
why do you have, if she says something, you don't. But the Prophet says that there is something called al-bayyinatu ala man idda'a. Someone who makes claim, he must prove it. And she is making claim here.
It's difficult to prove.
She is making claim. It's not difficult to prove.
She can just bring some evidence.
Yeah.
That's what she's got to do.
Oh, no. Yeah, I understand.
She could fake the evidence as well.
I mean,
But even so, you can still, you can just can't put on some.
well, people, probably the laboratory can make the difference between this and this. You understand? It's not the same.
I know.
It's not the same blood.
I know.
It's totally different because there is the blood that you take from your vein
Yeah.
is clean. Normal, the other blood is
Something.
Hormones, obviously.
yes, tissue, dead tissue and stuff. He said, if they say that the iddah is if you make the iddah like so easy, they say the problem will be about pregnancy now. So there is like a doubt, maybe this woman is pregnant, so you have to wait a longer period. He say, then the answer, he says, iddah is not for pregnancy. It has nothing to do with pregnancy. He said, because you and we agree that if a woman is 100-year-old, she still has to do iddah. I mean, a woman having 100-year-old, what is the chances that she will be pregnant? But if she is divorced, she still have to wait a period, iddah. Also the girl which has not reached the age. Also the woman who has no womb. He said also a woman whose husband divorced her, married her, and then he left to India for 20 years.
You talk about India,
Yeah, he says because of Andalus and India. So he said if a man divorces his wife, marries a woman, and he goes to India and wait for 20 years there, and then divorce her, she still have to wait for iddah. I mean, what is the odds that this woman have? Maybe she is pregnant after 20 years. The man, she didn't see the man, and the man is in India. He divorced her sent her letter from India. You are divorced. She still have to wait.
Would you count the date of the stamp on the letter?
Yes, definitely. It's not a question of the day of the date, the letter, the date of the letter. That will be her period.
And it took 2 weeks to get to, no, 6
yeah.
months to get to her by boat. Then khalas, she's already finished. Oh, sorry.
He said also, if it was for pregnancy, 1 period will be enough. 1 menses will be enough.
Sorry, I didn't understand that.
If it's for pregnancy, 1 period is enough.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because 1 period will be sure that she is not pregnant anymore. He said also, the period is for a woman who has just given delivery. Let's say a woman has given delivery to a girl. The man was not happy. He divorced her. But he divorced her after the pregnancy. Now she's definitely not pregnant, because just after the pregnancy, she can't be pregnant now. So he said, but she still have to wait a period. He said also, some people said that a woman will not be accepted if a woman says, this is the fuqaha say, if a woman said that her period is finished for less than 3 months, we should not accept her saying. Abu Hanifa said, if she says less than 2 months,
She had 3 periods in 2 months.
Yeah, he said if she in 2 months he says he has finished the period, we accept. If she say no, if she say less than 2 months, that we don't accept it. Muhammad ibn Hassan say 54 days. Malik say 40 days. Abu Yusuf say 39 days. Shafi'i said 33 days.
It's like 10 days.
It's all of these like based on how the minimum and the maximum of. He said all these days, all these times, it's all after these times, a woman can be proven to be pregnant after these times, and she didn't know about it. You know that a woman was the other day, a woman was in the gymnasium playing for the athletes.
In England, no, South Olympics. Yeah.
No, Olympics.
Yeah.
And she gave birth. And she didn't know she was pregnant. When she was playing, she gave birth.
It was a bodybuilder, weightlifter.
Yes.
For the Olympics, yes.
Yes.
She gave birth while doing.
Yes, during the Olympics, she started giving birth and she didn't know what was wrong. They thought she is sick. And then she gave birth and she said she never knew that she was pregnant.
Wow.
This is not the first time that you hear about women
Yeah, was she fat?
giving.
No, bodybuilder, she must have had all that testosterone and stuff. The hormones didn't messed up. Because women aren't supposed to be doing that kind of exercise.
Yeah.
It messes up their whole hormone, their whole thing.
How did it just cover the big?
No, it doesn't, because she is big.
Okay.
There is so many women who are pregnant and they think that just they are fat.
Yeah, even there's another case, an athlete. She's a runner, and she's really, because when you're an athlete, especially if you run well, most of them, you're really thin. And then this woman sometimes she says she's running and she can urinate or do that, you know, the other one, but nothing comes out, you know.
That's because the woman.
Yeah. But I heard it over there.
You're talking about pregnancy and you have to bring this into it. Did this happen a week ago, a month ago?
Oh?
This woman that gave birth to a child?
Say within less than a month. I read it in the internet. He says now, he say he said how all what they say here is wrong, because these people will accept the saying of a woman even if she is the most fasiq woman, when she says that her period is finished within that 33 days or 35 or 30, you understand?
Even if she's the most fasiq.
Yeah, even if she is. He said, but we will not accept her saying except if she bring 4 women.
4.
Is that even Hassan saying it?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, why?
Because isn't that just for certain specific scenarios that you ask for 4 witnesses?
He says 2
And then
witnesses.
women as well, didn't even men.
No, two witnesses.
Sorry, 2 male witnesses.
So because for everyone is 2 women.
Yeah.
He says now 4 women to say that she had these periods.
Okay.
So why say 4?
No,
Because 2.
women,
Generally,
1 man.
it's 2 witnesses.
Okay, but he says 4 women.
Yeah, because for every man is 2 women.
Ah, okay.
Doesn't
But
matter.
there's nothing specific for this though. Is
Yeah.
No, there is
No, but
nothing.
he doesn't want a man to go in, and he's saying so women in the girls.
Yes.
There is, yes.
No, it's not really qiyas, but if you, well, Allah, there is hadith that says that the testimony of a woman is half of the man.
The what? Sir?
Hadith that says that the testimony of a woman
The what? Testimony, okay.
is half of the man.
But they're saying what situation you're in. It's general, it doesn't apply to any specific.
You could have said 2 men, but you're not going to.
No, what I'm saying, the Quran talks about contracts, yeah? I'm saying that this, when he just said that hadith there, is that general or anything that you...
That is another thing. Is it general or it's? I told you this before. I told you this here. It can. Some people say general. Some people might say no. This is only for the specific situation which is mentioned in the Quran. Ali ibn Abi Talib have been told about a woman who was divorced and then she had 3 periods in 1 month. Ali told Shuraih the judge in this case. Shuraih said if she bring proof like women who are trustworthy from the closest woman to her to testify for that, you understand? Then it will be accepted. Otherwise, it will be a liar. Ali ibn Abi Talib said, you are right. Muhammad ibn Sirin was asked, can woman period, like after the period, the clean period after the period, can it be 5 days? He said, women know better.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. Okay, so that is, we stop there. What time is it?
7:55.
If you go out of the room, come back, the room will more warmer.
Were you at
Not speech.
Uxbridge or?
You got your bed now?
Sorry.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
You taking these books home?
Hmm?
Books home.